I always thought, I was always given the message growing up that if you wanted to be great, that you had to be hard on yourself. You had to kind of beat yourself up, and you had to, like, you know, if you were too kind to yourself, then somebody else was going to be better than you, and you weren't going to work hard if you didn't really beat yourself up. That's what I thought. That's what I believed. And to some extent, there is some truth in that. And I certainly would admit that I'm still my #1 critic. There's no one harder on me than me. And my guess is that a lot of you would say the same thing. I mean, how many of you would say you're your #1 critic? You're harder on yourself than anyone else. I think that's a common trait among high achievers. But here's what I say about that now. Here's why I say it's only partially true. And Coach Mano touched on this a little bit last night. I think it's okay to be your #1 critic if you're also your #1 fan. I think it's okay to be your #1 critic as long as you're also your #1 fan. And that's the part that I think most of us miss. You know, there was nobody harder on Michael Jordan than Michael Jordan. There was nobody that expected more out of Michael. There was no one more critical of Michael. There was no one that demanded more of Michael than Michael. But there was nobody pulling for Michael more than Michael. There was nobody that believed in Michael more than Michael. And you could say the same thing about Tiger Woods, Kobe Bryant, Diana Taurasi, Lance Armstrong. Any confident and successful athlete in any sport is almost always their #1 critic, but they're also their #1 fan.